Before we begin this morning prayer, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel and like this video. God, today is a new day and I want to step into it with more belief in who you made me to be. I've spent too many mornings waking up unsure if I'm enough. Unsure if I can handle what's coming, unsure if I'm allowed to show up as I am. But not today. Today, I choose to believe in myself. Not because I'm perfect, but because I'm growing. Not because I know everything, but because I'm learning. Not because I have it all together, but because you are holding me together. Today, I start this day with a different story. I am capable. I am called. I am worthy of this moment. I know there will be things I can't control today. People, plans, outcomes, interruptions. But I don't need control to believe in myself. I just need clarity. And the clarity is this. I've made it through every day up until now. I've shown up when it was hard. I've kept going when I was tired. I've been resilient when no one was watching. That matters. That counts. That is evidence that I can trust myself again today. That I can look at what's in front of me and say, let's go. You've got this. Let this be the kind of day where I stop apologizing for being who I am, where I stop shrinking in rooms that need my voice, where I stop second-guessing every word, every move, every dream. Let this be the kind of day where I give myself permission to show up fully, not halfway, not filtered, but as the person you've been shaping in the quiet, the person who is finally ready to stand a little taller. Let my thoughts today speak truth. Let them say, I am good at what I do. I bring something unique to the table. I don't have to be like anyone else to be valuable. Let those thoughts shape the way I move through every act. Let them be the background music of my spirit when doubt tries to take the mic. Let them be louder than old voices of fear. Let them lead me like a steady hand forward. I don't need to be loud to be confident. I don't need to be perfect to be impactful. I don't need to be polished to be powerful. Confidence doesn't mean I have all the answers. It means I trust that I can find my way, even when the path curves. So let me walk in that trust today. Let me try new things. Speak up when I normally stay silent. Start what I've been putting off. Say yes to what excites me and no to what drains me. Let this day be shaped by boldness, not fear. Help me believe in my voice, not because everyone agrees with it, but because it's honest, because it carries a story, because it's been through things that taught it depth. Help me believe in my gifts, not because they're flashy, but because they're mine, because they come from you, because they're meant to bless others. Help me believe in my dreams, not because they're guaranteed, but because they're alive, because they wake something up in me, because they make me want to try. God, if I start to doubt myself today, meet me there. Meet me in the pause before I play small. Meet me in the moment before I back away. Meet me in the silence where I almost say nothing. Remind me gently, you've grown. You're not who you used to be. You're ready for more. Let me hear that truth louder than the doubt. Let it settle in my chest like warmth. Let it become my posture. Let me stop waiting for perfect conditions to begin. Let me stop needing permission to go after what sets my soul on fire. Let me remember that every person I admire once stood where I am, on the edge of trying, on the edge of uncertainty, on the edge of choosing belief or fear. So today, I join them. I choose to start. I choose to believe that I can. Let this be the kind of day where I look in the mirror and smile, not because I see perfection, but because I see potential. Because I see someone who's still showing up, who hasn't quit, who is braver than he thinks, stronger than he feels, and more gifted than he often allows himself to believe. Let belief change the way I walk today. Let it give me energy. Let it give me light in my eyes. Let it give me clarity in my words. Let it give me patience with myself when I get stuck. Let it give me the courage to begin again if I fall. Belief doesn't make things easy. It makes things possible. And today I choose possibility. Today I say, why not me? If comparison tries to creep in, shut it down. Let me remember that someone else's success is not my failure, that their timeline isn't my deadline, that their path isn't my map. I don't need to look sideways today. I need to look inward at what I've been given, at what's been planted in me, at what is quietly waiting for me to trust it. Help me own my strengths today, not in arrogance, but in joy. Let me say, yes, I'm good at that. Let me say, I'm proud of how far I've come. Let me say, I did that well. Let me celebrate without guilt. Let me stop downplaying my efforts just to make others comfortable. Let me stop pretending I'm smaller than I am. I don't serve anyone by hiding. I reflect your goodness best when I show up with light. So here I am, God, awake, open, willing to try again, willing to bet on myself, willing to believe that maybe, just maybe, everything I need is already inside me, that I don't have to wait until I'm more ready, more impressive, more polished, that today is a good day to trust what you've placed in me. And I choose to believe. Let that belief guide me now as I step into this day. Let it shape my choices. Let it steady my nerves. Let it remind me that I don't need to have it all figured out. I just need to begin, and I have. I'm already doing it. I've already started. I've already chosen to believe. And that changes everything. Help me stay connected to that confidence even when the day begins to challenge it. When something doesn't go as planned. When someone questions my ability. When fear tries to tell me, see, you knew you couldn't do this. Let me answer, no, that was a setback, not a sentence. That was a moment, not my identity. Let me remember that believing in myself doesn't mean I always get it right. It means I trust myself to try again, to learn, to grow. Let me be proud of myself in real time, not just later when the results come in. Let me say, I'm proud of how I handled that, even if no one else notices. Let me say, that took courage, even if it wasn't perfect. Let me notice my own strength today, not to inflate my ego, but to stop ignoring the quiet victories that deserve to be honored. Give me the courage to do things I haven't done before. Let belief show up in the way I take risks, in the way I reach out, in the way I speak up, in rooms where I once stayed silent. I don't want to shrink to stay safe. I want to grow to become who I was meant to be. Let this be a day where I break small habits of hiding, where I look doubt in the eye and walk forward anyway, where I stop waiting for enough proof and choose to believe I'm already enough. If I find myself overthinking, stuck in loops of what if, help me come back to the truth. I don't need to be perfect to begin. I don't need certainty to move. I don't need everyone to understand. I just need to keep going. I just need to trust that the path will appear step by step, breath by breath, with you beside me and belief inside me. That's more than enough. Let me breathe deeper every time I remember who I am. Every time I remember where I've been. Every time I remember what I've overcome. Let my lungs expand, not with stress, but with strength. Let me stand up straighter when I feel proud. Let me meet my reflection and nod with gentle approval. Let me say, you're doing better than you think. Let belief change my posture. And when doubt tries again, as it always does, help me meet it not with panic, but with peace, with self-respect, with the ability to say, I hear you, but I don't answer to you anymore. Let belief be the voice that leads me now. Let it speak clearly when I'm uncertain. Let it guide me when I'm hesitant. Let it steady me when I want to run away. Let my belief not come from ego, but from alignment. Let it come from being in tune with who you made me to be. Let me believe in myself not because I'm trying to impress anyone, but because I'm living in truth, because I'm walking with intention, because I'm honoring the story you're writing. With my life, that kind of belief is different. It's not about being better than, it's about being fully myself, and that is always enough. If people question me today, help me respond with grace and steadiness. Let me stay kind and grounded. Let me not get defensive. Let me trust my own voice. And if someone tries to tear me down, help me remember, it's not about me. Their words can't define me. Their doubt doesn't become my truth unless I accept it. And I don't. I choose to believe in myself instead. Let me stop measuring today by outcomes alone. Let me measure it by how I showed up. Did I act from belief instead of fear? Did I say the brave thing? Did I try the new thing? Did I trust my instincts? Did I speak kindly to myself when I made a mistake? If I did, then that's a good day. That's a victory worth holding on to. God, help me believe in my timing. Help me trust that I'm not too late and not too early. That what's for me is not fragile. That my growth doesn't need to match anyone else's. That the right doors will open. That the right people will see me. That the right opportunities will align. And in the meantime, help me show up as if they already have. Let belief carry me like they're already here. Let this be a day where belief isn't just a feeling, but a choice, a practice, a discipline, a rhythm. Something I return to over and over, especially when I lose it, especially when it wavers, especially when I'm tempted to go back to the old stories that used to hold me down. I choose to believe something better today. I choose to write a different story. Let me carry that story into every room today. Let me wear it like a quiet confidence. Let it move with me, speak through me, hold me up when I feel low. Let it meet me in the mirror and smile back. Let it remind me again and again. I don't have to wait to believe in myself. I just have to begin, and I have. I already have. God, thank you for staying with me through each breath of this day so far. I can feel the shift happening in me, even if it's subtle. The way my thoughts are becoming a little kinder, the way my shoulders feel a little lighter, the way I'm starting to walk like someone who trusts their own feet. That's not pride. It's progress, and I want more of it. I want to keep growing into someone who believes in who I am, not just when I win, but in every step it takes to get there, even the wobbly ones. Let me carry this belief into what's next. Whether it's a conversation that makes me nervous, a task I've been avoiding, or something I'm excited to try, let my first step come from faith, not fear. Let my second step come from momentum, not panic. Let my third step come from grace, especially if the first two weren't perfect. Let belief turn this day into a string of bold choices and quiet courage. Help me remember that believing in myself doesn't mean I'll feel confident every second. It means I'll keep going even when I don't, that I'll pause and breathe when I want to give up, that I'll speak with kindness to my fear instead of letting it drive, that I'll keep choosing to see potential when it would be easier to spiral in doubt, that I'll forgive myself quickly, that I'll show up fully even if I'm shaking a little on the inside. If I make mistakes today, and I probably will, let me respond with belief, not shame. Let me say, okay, that didn't go how I hoped, but I know how to recover. Let me say, I'm still learning, and that's okay. Let me say, I don't have to be flawless to be good at this. Let me say, the stumble is part of the strength, not the end of it. Let belief affect how I speak about myself, out loud, in my thoughts, in the way I introduce myself, in the way I respond to compliments. Let me stop rejecting praise out of habit. Let me stop apologizing for my presence. Let me stop belittling what I bring to the table. Let me say, thank you, and believe it. Let me say, yes, I worked hard on that, without flinching. Let me talk about myself with the same dignity I'd offer a close friend. Let me not wait for someone else to affirm me before I move forward. Let me not wait for permission. Let me not wait for a sign that I'm finally ready. Let me treat belief as a muscle, and today, I'm using it. I'm strengthening it. I'm letting it carry me further than I thought I could go. I don't need to know what happens 5 steps from now. I just need to take the next one with faith. If insecurity tries to creep in again, let it find no place to land. Let me say, not today. I've done enough second guessing. I'm building something better now. Let me not answer the old lies that used to define me. Let me not open the door to that familiar doubt. Let me guard my mind like it's sacred ground, because it is. Let peace rule my thoughts. Let purpose shape my focus. Let joy interrupt my routine. God, I don't want to just survive today. I want to show up with boldness. I want to try the thing that scares me. I want to say the thing I've been holding back. I want to start something without waiting for perfection. I want to lead with heart. I want to move with faith. I want to make decisions based on what I believe is possible, not what I'm afraid might go wrong. Let belief turn into bravery today. Not in some grand, dramatic way, but in the small moments, in the tone I choose when I speak, in the way I hold eye contact instead of looking down, in the way I walk into the room like I deserve to be there, because I do, in the way I give myself grace instead of pressure, in the way I keep trying when it gets uncomfortable. Let those little things add up. Let them build something strong and quiet and real inside of me. Then let me not do it alone. Let me keep leaning into you, into your truth, into the reminder that I was created on purpose, that my gifts are not an accident, that my voice matters, that my perspective is needed, that the dreams in my heart are not random. They are echoes of something sacred. They are my map, and I will follow them with faith, even if I don't know where they lead. Even if I get tired along the way, even if no one claps for me, even if it's messy, I will keep going. Because I believe, because you believe in me, and that is more than enough. Let me finish this day proud, not just of what I did, but of how I did it, with integrity, with softness, with strength, with belief. Let me walk through the rest of the day with this simple sentence playing in my mind. I trust myself. I trust that I'll make good choices. I trust that I'll know when to rest. I trust that I'll speak with love. I trust that I'll keep growing. I trust that even when I mess up, I'll come back better. I trust that I don't have to be perfect to be powerful. So I keep going, not to prove anything, but to live what I believe. I walk forward with peace, with purpose, with quiet fire in my bones, with joy in my steps, with the awareness that today I didn't let fear have the final word. Today, I chose belief. God, as this day continues to unfold, I want to hold on to what has been growing in me since I first opened my eyes. I want to keep choosing belief, not once, but again and again, not just when it's easy, not just when everything is going well, but especially in the quiet, ordinary moments when doubt tries to creep back in, especially when no one is around to cheer me on, especially when it would be simpler to fall back into old habits. I want belief to be my rhythm, my foundation, my quiet strength. Let me remember that belief isn't just about confidence, it's about trust. Trust that I don't need to force anything. Trust that what's meant for me will not miss me. Trust that I am strong enough to face what comes. Trust that I am allowed to rest and still be worthy. Trust that I can move forward even with uncertainty. Belief is choosing to move anyway, to breathe, to rise, to try again, even when there's no applause. And today, I keep choosing it. Let me carry that belief into how I finish this day. If I start to feel tired, let it be a good tired, not from trying to prove something, but from showing up with heart. Let me look back on this day, not with criticism, but with quiet pride. Even if things didn't go as planned, even if I made mistakes, even if no one else noticed how much courage it took just to begin, I noticed and you noticed, and that's enough. Let me end this day gently. Let me release the need to measure it by what I achieved. Let me hold it instead by how I moved through it, with faith, with love, with more belief than I had yesterday. Let me whisper, I did enough today, and let that truth settle in my bones. Let me sleep, not with pressure, but with peace. Not with worry, but with wonder. Let me end this day knowing I stayed true to myself. And tomorrow, when a new day begins, I want to remember this. I want to wake up and reach for belief again. I want it to be the first thing I wear, the first thing I speak, the first thing I let fill my chest before I face the world. I want to be someone who lives from within, not from the noise around me. Someone who isn't easily shaken because belief runs deep and quiet like a river. So thank you, God, for walking with me through this day of choosing belief, for speaking to my heart when fear was louder, for staying close when I needed reminders, for helping me see what was already inside me. You made me with care, with strength, with purpose. And I want to live like that's true. I want to wake up every morning and say it out loud. Today, I choose to believe in myself and mean it and live it and come back to it when I forget. Because belief is not a finish line. It's a beginning, and I'm ready to begin again. Every day, every moment, every breath. Amen.